We got some new information concerning the lawsuit between Gina Carano and Disney and Lucasfilm because it was previously determined by a court in California that the case can move forward to discovery. And to this, Disney and Lucasfilm tried to appeal that decision, but their appeal ultimately got thrown out. Gina Carano broke this news on her own personal X account, and this is what she says about it. Update. After the judge denied Disney's request to dismiss my case, Disney requested permission to immediately appeal that decision to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals and delay all discovery while that appeal takes place. Yesterday, October 16, 2024, we learned that the judge denied Disney's unusual request. I am obviously very pleased with the opportunity to keep moving forward with the judicial process and into discovery. While I wish this was not necessary, as it is not my desire to be in this battle in court, I will not shrink away from it because it is hard or uncomfortable. Again, a huge thanks to all of those who have shown me support daily, to my incredible lawyers and to Elon Musk and the people at X for the opportunity to continuing this lawsuit and seeking justice. And of course, she's thanking Elon Musk and X because after he took over the platform, he announced that his company would be willing to fund any lawsuits against people who were wrongfully terminated due to stuff that they posted on social media. Gina Carano tried to take him up on that offer. He looked at her case and thought, yeah, there's actually something there. So he's helping to fund the lawsuit against Disney for all this. She's suing Disney for defamation purposes and trying to get her job back, or at least I'm thinking probably get some monetary compensation for what they would have owed her if they would have had to continue with her. Because not only did they fire her from the show, but it's because of the defamatory claim that they made against her as they fired her, because they try to maintain that they didn't fire her per se. They just didn't have a role for her. That's why they let her go for that. But in the announcement, when they said that they're not having her on The Mandalorian anymore, this is what they said. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. A Lucasfilm spokesperson said it in a statement to People at the time. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identity are abhorrent and unacceptable. And that's the big takeaway right there. I mean, it's not enough that they just said that we just don't employ her anymore and we don't have any plans to. They had to go a little bit further and say it's because of posts that she made on social media, because this is ultimately the post that got her fired. This was shared to her Instagram story, and it reads the following. Jews are beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? To me, that seems pretty reasonable right there, saying don't demonize and hate people just because they have a differences of opinion than you. Famously, she got along with Pedro Pascal on the set of The Mandalorian, even though he's made posts on social media basically accusing half the country of being Nazis because they disagree with him politically. Yeah, he got to keep his job, whereas she got fired by saying, can't we all just get along? In fact, if you actually look at a lot of actors that Disney has been working with since then, and even before that, they make many posts that are far left on the political spectrum, or at least attacking other people on the political spectrum for disagreeing with them, yet they still get to keep their jobs, whereas Gina Carano got fired. Disney tries to maintain publicly that they don't have any political slant, but when they're keeping people who are making insidious posts because they're left-leaning, and then they're firing someone like Gina Carano who makes a pretty milquetoast post like this because she's more right-leaning, well, then I think there is an argument to be made that Disney is just firing her and persecuting her because of her political opinions. And a lot of people might think that that's not a big deal. Disney has a right to do that. But in the state of California, political opinion is actually a protected class from employers. So an employer can't necessarily fire someone just because they're have a differences of a political opinion than them. That's why I think this lawsuit is ultimately moving forward, and why discovery could be interesting, because Gina Carano in the past announced that they're going to be subpoenaing other people that she's worked with, Pedro Pascal, Bear Grylls, because she was on his show. But moreover, there's other people within this article that it mentions that are going to be subpoenaed, that they're going to depose because of this discovery phase of the trial moving forward, that the judge now dismissed Disney's attempt to get it thrown out. Carano said she wants The Mandalorian creator Jon Favreau, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, and Lucasfilm publicist Lynn Hale to testify, along with Chapek, Pascal, and Grills. Now, this is the biggest part about all of this and why Disney was trying so hard to get this case thrown out before the discovery phase, because obviously with the discovery phase, when they can get access to a lot of the inner emails and other documents like that from Disney, they can get a pretty good idea about what's going on behind the scenes. But when you can actually question these executives under oath, when Bob Chapek has gone on record or said many times to the media and to his shareholders, we're not a political company. We're just trying to take things neutral. We don't have any bias or anything like that. Well, now he's going to be questioned about this under oath, and we can actually get some more insight into what's going on behind the scenes at Disney, not only from Bob Chapek, but like from Kathleen Kennedy, for instance, like that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of all this too, because if it comes to find out that Disney has been trying to push a political agenda, has been lying to their shareholders, and if they actually know that a lot of the political agenda they've been pushing has been detrimental to them as a company, yet they've been pursuing it anyway because of their own bias, well, then they've been abandoning their fiduciary duties to the shareholders. And I think there's a potential class action lawsuit against Disney from the shareholders if that is determined to be the case. Obviously, that's looking way down the line for some potential ramifications, but this moving forward to Discovery is terrible news for Disney, and it's also great news for Gina Carano. Even if she doesn't ultimately win, a lot of this information coming out and coming to the public light, I think is ultimately a good thing, because then maybe some of these executives will be held account, at least if not in the court, to their shareholders. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest in entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.